Well, everything was going perfect for one local woman until she was diagnosed with a rare and dangerous disease. Now she uses her story to help others. In part one of this story, Marco introduces us to Heather Messenger, who he says is someone on the Suncoast you should know.
Heather Messenger is in some of the best shape of her life. At a towering 6'1", she was an avid athlete growing up and going into college.
Getting a full volleyball scholarship, and actually my freshman year had a minor heart attack, which cut that short.
Very young for a heart attack, but it wasn't all bad. When she moved back home, she met her future husband, who, by the way, stands at around an even more imposing 6'9". And with him, she had not one, but 2 daughters.
We got it!
So everything seems pretty good, and right now she says indeed it is. But the reason, let's face it, she looks so stunning is she had to work at it to cope after a couple of events, one bad, one significantly worse. That started shortly after moving back home after her heart attack and meeting her husband.
I gained about 55 pounds in 2 months, so the athlete in me kind of went out the door.
The second came after starting and growing her family.
We had our first daughter and everything was perfect on cloud 9. And then a few years later we had our second daughter, and as soon as we left the hospital I knew something was a little bit different.
What could it be? Time passed, and she started complaining about blurry vision, headaches, something in her chest didn't feel right. She didn't answer the phone as much, didn't want to go to family outings. She went to numerous doctors, and the first thing she was diagnosed with was postpartum depression. Made sense to her at the time.
Something was not right. Didn't have the same connection with my second daughter as I did with my first.
A few weeks later, her symptoms became worse, and so did the diagnosis.
Now, this is just part one of Heather's story. In fact, in the next hour, we're going to hear part 2. So, Marco, what do we hear about then?
The suspense is killing me.
Yeah, listen to that. Yeah, well, she did have a worse kind of postpartum illness that we're going to talk about, because it's a very rare illness that kind of distanced her relationship between herself and particularly her second daughter. We're going to talk about how she coped with it and what she does and how she can help you if you're also going through it, because that's ultimately what she wants to do. Since it's so rare,
right,
it's nice to know that other people are going through it and what they did to cope.